Ever wondered how the lava in the nether could supply infinite power? Have you ever looked at your solar panels in the rain and felt sad? Well, fret not, because in this guide I will teach you how to get endless amounts of lava from the nether into your home. How's it going, everyone? I'm Luxy and welcome! To get started, these are the items that you require. From the setup, we would require a hose pulley, hand crank, a mechanical pump and fluid pipes, and of course a handy dandy wrench. For powering up the system, we need a large cogwheel, windmill bearing, super glue to stick them all up, and the sails. Last but not least, the most important part of the build would be 2 ender tanks. Additionally, you would want fluid pipes to actually help make your life so much easier. For the build process, we're gonna head into the nether, find yourself a pool of lava like I do. If you can see here, there is a sample that as long as there's no blockages to the bottom, you can actually create a platform such as like this, look down and see that there's no any obstruction or anything, and you can get started. So the first thing you want to grab is a random block. For myself, I would have a stone. You will need a hose pulley, the hand crank, some fluid pipes, a mechanical pump, and your wrench. Alright, so let me just get the stone here. We're going to place 2 high. Take the hose pulley, place it right in front. From the hose pulley, we can actually see 2 sides. One side that is gray and the other side is black. So what you want to do is get the hand crank, go to the gray side and right click on it. So you'll place down your hand crank. The other side is where the pipes go. So what we want to do is you want to look at your hand crank, either right click. If nothing happens, hold down shift and right click, and you can see the hose actually goes down. So what you want to do is just continue this maneuver all the way until the pipe stops. So once it reaches the bottom, you can actually see that it does not have any effect and this guy has stopped. So that means that this particular hose is all the way down to the bottom of the lava pit, which is what we want. Alright, so the next step is to get a mechanical pump and place it on the other side like so. You can actually see an arrow here that's actually pointing, so this one needs to face on the outside away from the hose pulley. So take your wrench, right click and change the direction of the mechanical pump. So once we are done with this, we are actually done with the setup. Now we want to power up this system, and in order to do so, we have our next set of items ready. For powering up the system, what we're going to do is we're going to take our large cogwheel. We're going to hover our cogwheel over the other gray cogwheel that's on the mechanical pump. You can see the direction at which it goes. On the left, right click on it, and then again one more time and place it like so. With the 2 cogwheels down, what we're going to do now is take the windmill bearing, go to the other end, right click on it, take your random block, attach total of 8 blocks. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your super glue, right click on the end of the random block all the way until your windmill bearing and right click again. So you can see that it's actually being super glued over here. So what you want to do now is take your windmill sail, go to the corner and just place it down like such. If your windmill sail is of the wrong direction, what I suggest is take the wrench, look at the brown part of the thing, right click, and you can actually change direction. So there is only 2 directions, upwards and downwards. So place a total of 2 on each sides. Alright, so that is done. So in order to test this out, ensure that the area around this is not being blocked. If you want to give it a test, right click on your windmill bearing and it should turn together with the sail, and this is how it works. So this is the minimum size that you could get for the sail to work, and you can see the cog rolling with lava spewing out. So we don't want that. We want to turn it off first because this part here is not done yet. Okay, so to finally wrap things up, what we're gonna need is our ender tank and of course our fluid pipe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the ender tank, place it right beside the mechanical pump like so. With the, it doesn't matter which side it's facing, take the fluid pipe and place it and connect it like so. If you want to see what's inside the ender tank, hold down the shift button and you can see at the top left it says 0 MB. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our bearing as such by going over here. Oh yes, another
thing to note. If you want to operate your windmill bearing to make sure that it's going in the right direction, you can just look at the rotational direction, hold right click and change to whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise. So if your sail is on the other direction, you want it to change it to anti-clockwise, then please go ahead and do so. So I'm just gonna do this for example. You can see that this is going in a totally wrong direction and it's not facing what my sail is actually facing. So you can see that for the sail, the front side is the white part and the back part is this guy, which is indent. So I'm gonna change direction again, hold right click, change, drag it and right click. There we go. So you can see that the sail is going like so. So what we're gonna do now, so that while that's connected, we can actually see on our ender tank that lava is actually being added in at a very slow rate. But we are not done yet. So there is still one final part to do, which is to load the chunks. And in order to load the chunks, you need to know where you want to load the chunk at. So if you can see over here, I am at the center of the entire system. Go ahead, press M. You can actually see that I am in the middle over here. So this is where the chunk is. You want to force load the chunk. If not, the lava will stop extracting. What you want to do is click on it once, hold your shift button and click on it again. So it becomes 3 lines and it says force loaded. So what you want to do is just try and get yourselves a couple of chunks loaded up and make sure that your sail is being loaded up as well. So if you go over here in this area here, go ahead, press M, and yes, it's within the area of my chunk. So I usually do a total of 4 just in case, and this allows the chunk to be force loaded at all times. Alright, so now let's go ahead into the overworld. Alright, now we're back in the overworld. We have a ender tank over here, and how ender tank works is this ender tank is connected to the other one in the nether, and since the chunk is being loaded, you can actually see at the top left, it is still increasing as such, slowly but steadily. So what you want to do is you want to bring it into a tank like this, but I'm not going to do a big tank. I'm just going to show you guys a small tank. I'm going to take a fluid tank, and this time around we're going to be using a fluid pipe. I'm going to tell you why we're using a fluid pipe, so just follow my directions. Put your fluid tank down like so. I'm just going to do a small example. Take the fluid pipe from the bottom and connect it as so. So at first, you won't see anything that's happening to the tank. Nothing's moving to the fluid tank from the ender tank. Take your wrench, go down, aim the fluid pipe that's connected to the ender tank, hold down your shift and left click. Oh, sorry, not left click. You gotta right click, guys. Right click. Until you see this square parameter, it will actually extract out your lava. Well, that marks the end of the basic guide itself. Next guide, I'm gonna teach you guys how to have a more efficient system together with an entire ecosystem where we can convert the lava into energy. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys again soon. Oh, you're still here? The guide is over.